Oh, that's a big boy.
Alright. Okay. Alright, we're going to get Alfred something big, otherwise he's going to harass me all day. Now currently, folks, there are over 200 alligators in the swamp.
Oh, no.
All of these, like my man Alfred here, are wild alligators.
Oh, no.
He is a nuisance alligator. Now that means that he was a threat to
God
something. Now, I'm pretty sure none of my alligators have eaten people, at least not recently, but we do have some, like Crunch over there, that was sort of doing his fair share of Labrador retrieving. But, you know, if you live on a highway, keep a fence, keep Cujo from getting run over. If you live in our neck of the woods and a freshwater body of water, it's pretty important that you keep Cujo up at night, because if not, I can tell you what will happen to it. That. Now, there you go, sweetheart. Get out of here. Go, keep going. Now, come on, get in water. You got the full shot. Leave me alone. Now, Alfred, he's a big alligator. He is 12 feet, 11 inches and 3/4. But with the right humidity, we'll just call him 13. Does that work? Now, he is perfectly capable. If he wanted to catch me and drag me in the water, he could. However, on land, alligators, now most animals are just much more agile than they are. And two, his comfort zone is right next to the water's edge. So, as fast as he is, his land speed is not designed so much to catch me as to get away from me. But if he does grab me and drag me in the water, somebody please do. Now, from a dangerous perspective, you know, these little females that are back over here behind me now, I use the term little females. However, as far as females are concerned, those are not small, but ladies, if you are an alligator, you're not going to get anywhere near the size of Alfred. You're going to max at around 10 feet if you're very fortunate. I don't know of a female 11 feet ever documented. Not saying there's not one out there, just saying that we haven't found one. So, come on, Alfred, work with us. Kid, we're going to let him break something, otherwise he's going to harass me all day. This ought to make a good punch. Now, from a bite force perspective, go ahead.
Oh my Lord.
That's cool, isn't it? Anybody want me to tell you what part of the pig that is? No? Okay, you don't want to know. That was what we call the pelvic region. So, now, you notice how he didn't take any real effort whatsoever in smashing that. It didn't take him just putting a tremendous, velocity into those jaws, because at 6 feet, they bite around 400 to 500 pounds, which is enough to break an arm or leg. At 10 feet, that bite force jumps way up there. It actually gets around that 1,800 to 2,000 pound range. Now, that is not a PSI bite. A lot of times you'll hear people use the term PSI. Oh, there's the Colonel coming. Come on, Colonel. People use the PSI term to make it sound a lot more impressive. The difference in pressure versus force. Picking up a ballpoint pen and signing a piece of paper is about 2,000 PSI. 2,000 pounds of force would be like taking a car and just dropping it on someone's head. So, again, it's a whole lot different. Come on, Colonel, get over here. We're going to bring a real big guy in just a second. You're going to see what I'm talking about.
Oh, wait, thank you,
now, from a food requirement standpoint, the great thing about being an alligator is they're extremely efficient animals. They need a fraction of comparison to the food that we need. So, Colonel, don't bite Alfred. Alfred, you better run. Yeah, I'd run too. But when you consider, if an alligator eats once a month, he's fine. If he gets 10% of his body weight a year in food, he's fine. Now, what they are equipped to do, I'm sorry about that. What they're equipped to do is eat very large meat. Now, Patty, you better behave. That's Miss Patty. She's actually a very sweet alligator. I'm going to go ahead and feed her a little bit. But, again, if an alligator has the opportunity to eat a fifth of what he weighs, they can. Now, that would be things like, deer, pigs, otters, beavers, pretty large items. My man Colonel over there, Colonel wanted to, he could eat 180 pounds at one sitting. Now, eating 180 pounds, be kind of like going to Lambert's. Anybody been to Lambert's recently? You eat everything they give you. Yeah, it's like eating 200 pounds. So they can eat really large meals and then take the rest of the year off. However, they choose not to do that a lot because, again, it does put them at somewhat of a disadvantage. All right, Patty, fetch. I got one nice big piece to break for Colonel over here. Fetch. Anytime things get hectic out here, I start throwing pieces everywhere. It makes it like Mardi Gras, except safer. All right. Come on, Colonel. These are all Colonel's girls, so they're going to be allowed to hang out. You know, in the alligator world, ladies, you get to pick which fella you like. However, you generally will pick the same fella and then get together and fight about it. It's kind of like a Springer episode. But this time of the year, again, these females are grouping up around these, very large males, because when you consider only about 10% of the hatchlings that these girls produce, come on, Colonel, get up here, produce will survive. So it is very important to pick a genetically superior fella. Hey, Colonel. Good boy. If you've ever seen the movie Godzilla, that's it. And he is as big as an American alligator will get. He is also, from a wild perspective right there in that maximum age bracket. These animals live about 50 years. Now, I can't tell you exactly how old Colonel is. Now, when he expires, we will be able to. But I can give you a pretty good assumption that he is not a spring chicken. Now, whenever he passes away, what we will do, we will take the femur bone off the rear leg and do a cross-cutting of it. And the reason we do that is, all animals as we age, we produce certain markers called biorhythms, which you commonly associate as biorhythms, or like growth rings in trees. So, by cross-cutting his femur and staining it, we can let it dry for a couple weeks and then count those growth patterns, just like counting growth rings in a tree. I would assume that right now he is probably over 40, but again, whenever he kicks the bucket, we'll find out. All right, I'm going to let him break this leg. You ready, buddy? Kind of makes your femur hurt just a little bit, doesn't it? And again, there was absolutely no real velocity or effort. I mean, when that pterygoid muscle right there blows up, and you'll watch it, it's almost like a balloon. The force and energy that is distributed from that muscle would be, the equivalent of, a large handgun discharged at close range. Swallow that when you get another piece. Terrible table manners. I'm not a small person by any means, but compared to him, there would be absolutely no surviving him whatsoever. The good news is he knows what happens if you try and bite me. 15 pieces. The vast majority of their diet in the wild are actual things you wouldn't want in your pond anyway. About 80% of what they eat are turtles. Other than that, they eat snakes and frogs and otters and beavers and but again, things that they eat that you wouldn't want in your pond, so that alligator can help you actually a lot more than you thought. Now, if you have things like small children, dogs that really like the water, he'll help you with those too. All right. Okay.
Whoa! That's a big one.
That's Speedy. Speedy, the guy coming up here, he has 4 legs but only 3 feet. Another alligator borrowed his left front foot and did not return it. So, losing a leg to an alligator, believe it or not, is a very minor occurrence. Their blood clots to the point where if they lose a leg, they quit bleeding in a short period of time. Secondly, the crocodilian antibody is highly resistant to anything foreign, so they don't deal with internal infections. Can you grab that? Let me try again. So, buddy. No blood loss, life's good. Who wants to ride Colonel? He's saddle broke.
Go for it.
You'd only do it once. we'll feed him a few more pieces. And again, you heard me talking earlier about his ear. The ear is right there. So if I need him to go one way or another, all I need to do is put some pressure on that ear. And again, I can make that 900-pound alligator move if I need him to.
He froze his eye when you did it.
Oh yeah, he didn't like that. Fetch. I'll feed him a few more pieces. All right. Hey, buddy. Close your mouth. That's rude. Hold on to it. Oh, there you go. I was feeding him Boston butt pork roast one day, and I just want to see how many he would eat. He ate 9. Oh, what's funny, like the last one, I was getting ready to feed him, and he coughed one of them up, caught it back in the air, and then swallowed 2 of them, which was pretty nasty, but cool at the same time. I've seen them eat just about everything on the planet. Who was to watch them eat or turtles? Turtles make a really loud pop. I've seen an alligator catch an otter. That's kind of like watching a 500-pound bass hit a 10-pound topwater plug. It's not good being an otter out here. But again, everything has spots on the food chain. Come here, Colonel. Get over here. He's like, man, I'm tired now. That's a long walk. Hey, girls. Again, all these females are in close proximity because of guys like him, Crunch, Alfred, who decided to leave the area. But it is very important to pick a male of genetic superiority. Hey, sweetheart. Come here. All right. And even if this does get hectic, it is safer than teaching school. Or selling insurance, I guess. Alright, I've got a few more pieces. Oh, I got another big guy coming. Who's that? Come on. I don't know who you are, but I'll find out when you get closer. Come on. You might show up and say, Colonel's there. I don't think I'm that hungry anymore. Again, the big guy gets to tell everybody else what to do. If you are the big guy, life is good. And if you are not the big guy, eat a lot. Hope that your father was a big guy, and one day it might work itself out. Genetics and nutrition. I don't want that. Bitch. They're just like big mean dogs. Alright, I've got a few more pieces in here. Stay, Colonel. I could fill that cooler up 3 times, and he would eat and eat and eat and eat. Now, right now, he is not necessarily so much concerned with food. He's coming. A lot of ladies in this area. What are you doing under there, big boy? There's a lot of ladies in the area, so that's mainly what he's concerned with right now.
Go over that way.
You need to go around. Go around. Go around. You're on the wrong side. Go around. Open up wide. Go around. Oh well. He'll figure it out. He's like, but I just want to come in and get a piece of pork. Yeah, this time of year, again, most of these large males, he's showing up here just for sheer social reasons. They are actually very social people. Come on. What's that, bud? Nope. Gravity is not their friend.
I can't believe he's not in that piece of meat.
He only eats bad kids. You'll be fine. Perfect. Yeah, alligators occasionally eat people.
Yeah.
However, if they ever figure out we are not very bright, we'll have some problems. Because they already know we're not very fast. Fetch. Alright, I've got a few more. Hey. Oh. Just open up and I'll give it to you.
There's one right underneath them.
Don't eat my cooler. Back up. them feeding. Again, you don't get the sheer number of alligators to show up here for a feeding, but the vast majority of them are big. There's Speedy coming up. Come on, Speedy, show everybody your having a foot. Go. Yeah, another alligator borrowed his foot and did not return it.
Picture that.
Back in the water.
Just need
He just closed his eye just then when I touched it. All I'm doing is just putting a little pressure on his ear.
Did you get some?
Fine. Get my lovely. Who wants me to wrestle him now?
Yes.
No, you don't want to wrestle him.
I want. Wait.
It would not be a fair fight. I would lose. I mean, to give you an idea, that's 11 feet. That's what, 13 feet, 10 inches looks like. He's staring at you for some reason. I don't know why. You're all right there.
That's about you, Carson.
You been behaving lately?
Nope.
Oh, that's why. That's a 900-pound Santa Claus.
You're okay.